In this video, I'm going to introduce and demonstrate the negation symbol, which for us is symbolized by the tilde. It's a little squiggly horizontal line. It's not a dash, it's a squiggly line. So let's start with an atomic sentence that we'll symbolize using L to stand for the lights are on. So the lights are on can be true or false. So we'll put those down on the truth table. So now the question becomes, what's the truth value of tilde L? The tilde L just means it's not the case. It's not the case that the lights are on. So for row 1, if it's true that the lights are on, well, what's the truth value of it's not the case that the lights are on? Well, we flip the truth value. So if it's true that the lights are on, then it's false that it's not the case that the lights are on. Notice that we put the truth value of this whole sentence. I'm going to put brackets around this just to be clear. Because what we're looking at is tilde L, not L. We're looking at tilde L, or it is not the case of L. So we put the truth value of that sentence right underneath the tilde. That is the main operator for this sentence. So let's look at row 2. Row 2 says it's false that the lights are on. So if it's false that the lights are on, what's the truth value of it's not the case that the lights are on? Well, it's true. And we're going to put that right underneath the tilde, since that's the main operator for the sentence. So it's really easy to get tongue-tied and confused with the tilde, especially when we say something like in row 1 here under the negated L, that it's false that it's not the case that the lights are on. That can start to give you a headache. So operationally, it might be easier to think about how the tilde functions. So you'll see here that I say that the tilde flips the truth value, and I've got the arrows going both ways here. So we can think about it in one direction and we can think about it in the other direction. What I mean by that is if L is true and then we've got tilde L, the tilde or the negation flips the truth value. So L compared to tilde L, if L is true, tilde L is false. And if L is false, tilde L is true. Or it goes the other way. If tilde L is false, L is true. And if tilde L is true, L is false. So that's really easy, or at least the easy version of how the negation works with atomic statements. Now let's look at how it affects compound statements. Let's make a compound statement out of the lights are on and the statement nobody's home. And let's do a conjunction, but let's negate that whole conjunction. So to negate a whole conjunction, we're going to need to start using some parentheses. If we wanted to negate, if we wanted to say it's not the case that the lights are on and nobody's home, we go tilde, then parentheses, L, ampersand for the conjunction, and then H. That sentence says it's not the case that the lights are on, and it's not the case that nobody's home. So let's see how this truth table is going to work out for the statement, right? The whole negated statement. So our first indication of how this is going to work out is that we need to recognize that the main operator of this whole statement is the tilde. It's the negation symbol. So on the left-hand side, we'll have our atomic sentences, L, for the lights are on, and H, nobody's home. And our first row is going to be where both are true. Second row, L is true, H is false. Third row, L false, H true. And then the fourth row, they're both false. So the way that I would work this is I would get the truth value of the conjunction and put that under the ampersand. And then I would flip that to get the truth value of the negated statement, the whole statement. So we know that the conjunction is only true when both sides of the conjunct are true. So in row 1, we have L true and H true. So in that case, the conjunction is true. Remember, we're just doing what's inside the parentheses right now. And for the conjunction, both sides have to be true. So for row 2, where L is true and H is false, then the statement L and H is false. Same thing with row 3, and same thing with row 4, right? This is the conjunction rule. The conjunction is only true when both conjuncts, both sides of the conjunction are true, and that only occurs in row 1. But we're not done, because the statement is, it is not the case that the lights are on and nobody's home. So we need to flip the truth value from the conjunction, and when the conjunction is true is in row 1, the negated conjunction is false. And so we just flip the truth values on each row. In row 2, where the conjunction is false, the negated conjunction is true. In row 3, where the conjunction is false, the negated conjunction is true. Same thing for row 4. Now, this is the important part. The truth value of this whole statement is indicated under the tilde. That's where you need to put the truth value for this statement. You can scratch this out because it doesn't apply to this whole statement. Okay, let's do another one where the negation is affecting things a little bit differently. Okay, in this example, we have a conjunction again, but only the right conjunct is negated. So this is saying the lights are on and it's not the case that nobody's home. So the negation is only affecting the H here. So how would that truth table look for this statement? Well, let's go through it. We've got all of our combinations of truth values already laid out for L and H, so that's easy. And then L is going to be very easy because it's just L, the left side of the conjunct. So let's work with that first. So on row 1, L is true. Row 2, L is true. Row 3, L is false. Row 4, L is false because we're just carrying over the truth value here because L is just L, like over here. But now we've got a negated H. So I'm going to do the long way here. I'm going to put the truth value of H right under H, and then I'm going to flip it and put the truth value of negated H under the tilde. So I'm just going to go row by row here under H and put it directly under H. So in row 1, H is true. Row 2, H is false. Row 3, H is true, and row 4, H is false. That's just H. That's not the negated H. So now this part, you don't have to put parentheses, but I just want to be clear. Let's put the truth value for that statement, the negated H, that it is not the case that nobody's home. So, well, we just flip the truth value, and we're going to put that right under the main operator here for the right side of the conjunct, which is under the tilde, right under that guy. So if H is true on line 1, the negated H is false, and then we just flip it all the way down each row. Now, we might want to do something like this so we don't confuse the truth values that we're comparing to determine the truth value for this conjunction, right? Because the main operator for this statement is the ampersand, is the conjunction. It just so happens that the right conjunct is negated. So these are the two truth values that you're going to be looking at to determine the truth value for the whole sentence. We handled the negated H, now let's handle the whole conjunction. We know that the conjunction is true only when both conjuncts are true. In row 1, we've got a true left conjunct and a false right conjunct. So that one's going to be false. Row 2 has L is true and the negated H is true. So that case is going to be true. So row 2, that whole conjunction is true. We can see that row 3 is not going to be true. It's going to be false because both are false. And row 4 is going to be false because both conjuncts need to be true for it to be true. So row 3, the conjunct is false. And row 4, the conjunct is false. So this is really what you're looking at. This column here under the main operator, the ampersand, is the truth value for the conjunction per row. So in row 1, it's false. Row 2, it's true. Row 3, it's false. And row 4, it's false. Okay, that kind of gives you an idea of the importance of where the tilde is in relation to the statement, whether we're talking about atomic statements or compound statements.